So what could I look forward to in terms of synchronicity? Let me actually maybe phrase it in a different way. So does that mean that I can drive my life towards more of my intentional outcome? Is that what that means? Or is it more of just be willing to be surprised of what fruits this path may take me to?
Steve Jobs said famously that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them in retrospect, looking back, and you can see how your life lined up to get you where you are. He's talking about how he ended up taking a class in calligraphy at Reed College and then dropping out of college and then ended up designing the Macintosh based on those experiences, influenced by his aesthetic. And you can only see that chain looking backwards. I think we can look forwards and start to see the context in our experiences as they're happening. What is the bigger I get fired from a job, okay? It hurts. It's painful. It feels like a setback.
Mm-hmm.
What is the wider context in which that is happening? Is there a pattern that I can see in my life of experiencing this kind of rejection in other places too? Maybe in my relationships or in other jobs. What is it that I can take from this that's actually, and this is where the universe is in a sense friendly, right? Because it's actually doing this, this experience is going to help us conquer the next thing. And the next thing might be more important for us, but we'll be more informed to be able to do it in a different way. Jump out of our cycles and try something different. Because we understand our patterns, our emotional patterns. Maybe I'm being too bossy at work and that just keeps showing up in all these ways, and it shows up in my relationships. And gradually, through enough experiences of difficulty, I start to touch into the grief that I feel that's making me bossy and start to develop more authentic, deeper relationships. And that affects my personal relationship. It affects my job experiences as well. So we're growing through these processes, and the experiences are there simply as a background, like props on a stage to help us experience these things. So it comes back to what I think of as experience. We're here to experience things that will help us grow. And the physical situations that show up in our life are just there to make that happen. Now, the way I look at synchronicity, you talked about intention. I think I want to dig a little bit deeper into that. What is
Let's do
intention?
it, please.
And are we always aware of what our intentions are? I might be thinking I'm offering some helpful advice to somebody, and I realize later in reflection, why were they defensive when I gave them advice? I was just trying to help. But maybe my intention was actually that I was worried about their safety or worried about their choices. And so I was actually undermining them in some way. And they felt that, but I couldn't see that in the moment. So we're not always aware of what our intentions really are. I like the word, well, the phrase I use in the book is
anticipated qualitative experience. Okay. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. So there's a simpler way to phrase it. Expectation. Expectation is something you're anticipating, and it's the experience that you're anticipating.
Yeah.
So I'm anticipating the experience of feeling safe and connected to my partner, or I'm anticipating the experience of having to defend myself at work, or I'm anticipating the experience of drinking coffee and tasting that and feeling that energy. We're constantly, all we're doing in life is experiencing, and we're constantly anticipating or expecting what we're gonna experience next. I think that's the way our neurology works. And so my way of phrasing this is that what we anticipate in this way becomes the thing, the apple on the tree. It becomes the thing that we're targeted for as synchronicity unfolds. And so if we're anticipating being criticized at work, let's say, it's going to inform our choices, and we're going to do things which defend ourselves and maybe make choices to go get extra help from on something we don't need. And then we find ourselves put in a situation where we do get criticized. And there's this sort of dynamic that I don't fully understand, but I see it in my life a lot, where I'm actually anticipating a negative experience, and then I do things to bring that about, and then I experience that. It's really about what we're aware of. There really is no difference, but in both cases, I'm trying to highlight the fact that we're not always aware of what we're expecting, what we're intending. There's this underlying programming that we have, which is informing our choices that we're not aware of and is maybe undermining us.